So is Combat Patrol coming to Age of Sigmar in the presumably coming in summer 4th edition of the game? We may have had our first little hints and teases that it is, because today we got shown a brand new box set for the armies of the Stormcast Eternals, which is called the Spearhead Boxed Set. And the article today states that much like Combat Patrol, this is a way to get a small, balanced fighting force right out of the box, ready to fight against your enemies. So it does sound very much like it will follow the Combat Patrol style of having a small, self-contained force that you can't really mix up at all, but which will have its own unique and bespoke and balanced set of rules for fighting other armies' spearhead forces. Which of course is just a great way to not only get new players into AOS so they can find the army that they like the look of, get a very quick easy start into it, not have to worry about all the complexities of the rules and building an army and putting things together. They can just get this box, know that what they have in the box is going to be ready to go pretty much straight out of it as soon as they've put it together, and that they won't have to worry about being beaten so badly by their opponent who's got a better, stronger force, because they should all be balanced against each other. So as long as you have two spearhead forces opposing each other, it's just going to be a great way for both of you to learn the simpler rules and get a better foundation of the game. And then of course, if you are an established AOS player, this is going to be great because it can just be another cheap way to get more models and to get more units that you may want to add into your army, as well as play a simpler game system and a simpler game style if you've only got, 45 minutes or an hour, rather than a couple of hours you may have for a bigger, fuller game. As I said, like Combat Patrol, if this is what it is, the rules will likely be simplified. They won't have quite all of the army and special rules in it. It will just be a nice way to get people into it smoothly and slowly, show them how the game in general runs, and of course, if GW is hoping that people will like it, get them to expand and buy more stuff into fuller games of AOS. But in this box in particular, because this is the only one we've seen so far, let's take a look at what you get, what sort of sized army you can expect from it, and then of course some ideas about how much it might cost. Of course, this is all going to be based off 3rd edition. It could be changing massively into 4th, but that, as I said, is rumoured to be coming this summer, so that is still a good 6 months off. So we can be sure that if this box and the other Spearhead boxes do come out anytime soon, this is going to be what we can expect for a good while before 4th edition hits, and maybe GW's plan is to get all of the armies up and running from a Spearhead perspective before the new edition drops, so people can begin to prepare for it and go into 4th edition sort of hitting the ground running, so to speak. But in this box in particular, you get 16 models, you get a unit of Vanquishers with their awesome broadswords, you get 3 of the chunky Annihilators with their massive shields and hammers, you get a Stormstrike Chariot to bring some much needed mobility and hitting power to the list, and then you get 2 leaders to lead the charge in the form of a Knight Vexilla and the Valkyrie Queen herself, Indrasta. Now this is actually a solid little force. It's all relatively new models with the new slimmer style of Stormcast, which is, in my opinion anyway, much better than the older, chunkier style of 1st and 2nd edition. And it also rounds out to a really solid size points wise as well. Indrasta herself is 260 points alone, so she's a very good portion of any army just all by herself, and the Knight Vexilla also works out to 140 points, so just between those two, you are looking at 400 points, which is, let's be honest, nearly as much as some of the full 40k combat patrols, cough add mech. But then on top of that, you also get the Stormstrike Chariot, adding another 150 points to the mix, and then another 150 from the Annihilators, and this is all rounded out by 10 Vanquishers, which are 200 points. So all in, this set looks to be netting you around 900 points of Stormcast, so you are getting nearly an entire 1000 point army straight out of this box, so it is a really good set for getting an army in one go, and as I said, it all looks great. I think it's fair to say, rules-wise, Stormcast aren't doing amazingly right now, but they are still very fun, and this is a very nice, easy army to get up and build and paint. And I think if this Spearhead system is like Combat Patrol and it is balanced around other Spearhead boxes, then at the very least, although Stormcast aren't in a great place in AOS, hopefully they will all be balanced against the other armies, so even playing a weaker army like the Stormcast won't make you feel too disadvantaged against some of the stronger armies out there. So it's a really good box in terms of what you get model-wise, but what about price? Because whilst we can't honestly say what this box is going to be price-wise, we just don't know, I am going to take a leap of faith and say these may well be priced like the 40k Combat Patrol boxes, which is around the £95 mark. I honestly, if I'm being completely realistic, think they may hit £100 just based on price increases over time by the time all these boxes start to come out. But if for now we take the £95 Combat Patrol price as a basis, this box also gets you some really good financial value. Indrasta and the Night Vexilla are currently only available in one place, which is the Thunderstrike command. However, wouldn't you know it, that set also comes with 3 Annihilators. It's almost as if GW planned it. So that is a £75 set of models straight off the bat. Then if we look at the Chariot, that comes in at £32.50. And then to round it all off, we have those 10 Vanquishers, and 10 of those is currently £40 from GW. So that all in is £147.50. So if this is a £95 box, you are making a saving of £52.50, which gets you all 10 Vanquishers for free and like a third, if not more, of the Chariot. And in terms of percentage saving, it's around 36% off retail value. So it's actually a little bit more than the usual 30-ish% that GW tends to go for with these boxes. So it is a very good, very significant saving. I think, to me, this definitely looks to be an AOS version of Combat Patrol coming our way, which I think, to be honest, does make a lot of sense for the game system. And if there are some great value boxes coming for the other armies as well, I think this is going to go a long way towards getting new people into AOS, as well as a great way for existing players to pick up even more models for their existing armies or expand their secondary armies or tertiary armies for a reasonably cheap price. It is a brilliant set for new players who may not have anything, but even if you are a current Stormcast player and you want some more Annihilators or some more Vanquishers, you could very well grab a couple of these and, sell Indrasta, maybe the Vexilla and the Chariot if you don't want them, and basically get the Annihilators and the Vanquishers for an unbelievably cheap price. And it's worth bearing in mind as well, the Stormcast set, you will have had a lot of it because obviously you had Dominion and the other starter sets which contained a lot. Not necessarily the Vanquishers, but some of the Annihilators certainly. So I think this is going to be even more good value for the other armies that didn't feature in Dominion and the sort of starter sets of the game. Things like your Undead armies or your Chaos armies will probably get much better value in terms of what you get there because they can't as easily get some of these things from other cheaper pre-existing sets and box sets. So all in all, I am just a big fan of this. I think it's a solid box. I think it's got some great models. I think it is going to be really well priced if it is at that £95 price tag. And if you are looking for a quick, easy way to play AOS, if this Spearhead system is similar to 40k, I think it's going to be a fantastic way to improve the popularity of AOS in general. So that is going to be it for today, but as always, I'd love to know what you make of this box set. Do you think AOS is going to be getting a Combat Patrol style game? And what would you like to see for the other armies in their Spearhead boxes when they get them? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.